This was when it first opened, and I walked in, and the girl comes up to me and goes, "Here's your 2 drink tickets." I laughed at her. I go, you mean one of these or each of these are a bottle, right? And she's like, "No, you get 2 drink tickets." I closed my laptop.
See you later.
I chucked the deuces. I was like, "Alex, you have 4 drink tickets now."
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Residential Remix Podcast episode. What are we on? Episode 8? Episode 9?
8, 9. I don't even know.
I should probably have known that before we started this. I am Dennis Stricker.
Derek Infiesta.
And we are back up in the pizzle. We made the trip up just for, I think it's really for time and convenience, even though the 45-minute drive was not a convenience.
It's a, you know what? It allowed me to go to the gym.
Okay.
It allowed me to go to the gym this morning because that way you could set up and I get a little more time today. It's Friday. It's not our normal Wednesday.
No, it's weird.
We had a busy week. You had the
Everything.
bowl.
I had all
You
kinds
bowl?
of stuff. I had a Boca Bowl event on Wednesday, and it was the golf outing down at the Boca Resort. Now it's called the Boca Raton.
Yep.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
It's a great venue.
Beautiful venue.
We've been there several times.
So we were on the golf course for most of the day, and then we were back in the cathedral, which is one of my favorite ballrooms in all of Palm Beach County.
Ceilings are amazing in there.
Beautiful room, great event, great turnout. Reminded me that I am absolutely horrible at golf because while everybody was out on the course, I went and took a couple shots, and it is embarrassing. It is embarrassing. It's not baseball. We're good at baseball.
Great at baseball.
Golf.
I drive the golf cart.
And I
will drive a golf cart anytime, any day. Anyone needs someone to drive a golf cart, hand you a club or something. I'm your guy.
No, it does not
I'm not
translate.
swinging.
But I had a good time. It was out there. It was good to get out there and see everybody. And like I always say, when these events start kicking off, it just brings us closer to bowl season. And I mean, it's a great time every time.
I love it. I love doing the podcast. I think it's become a thing now. Like it's become easier. We know it's coming.
Yep.
The first, we were always trying to get comfortable and we're going to be on a mic and just, I think the podcast is work. I got a lot of great feedback. The podcast is going. I kind of like this.
Everything works.
As long as it works,
we're fine.
As long as it works, fine. We got hopefully Mike's working. Mike, check Julian.
Yeah,
Julian, make sure this podcast is up to your standards.
And one of the great things about coming up here, aside from the drive, is that I have all of this stuff. I have all of the lights and all of the tripods, and getting it all set up is easy. When we're starting to go between the office and between your house and between here,
forgetting things.
Yeah, exactly. I can't forget anything at my own house.
Forgot a camera last time, so we targeted it up real quick and a little rental action.
Back to the original.
Back to the original rental. Back to our original equipment. So since yesterday was Halloween, so again, we're not filming. We usually film Wednesdays and then put a new podcast out by Wednesday.
Yep.
Since today is Friday, let's kind of talk about Halloween a little bit. How was your Halloween experience in Port St. Lucie?
So a couple things were really weird about this year. Number one, this is the first year the kids didn't want to do the family costume. And that's a thing in our household. It is family costume or bust. And this year, one of them is 14, the other one is 11, and they're in that stage where it's just not cool to dress up with your family.
Okay.
So it was just Meg,
broke her heart,
baby, and
probably
we did
broke
Monsters
her.
Inc. It was
okay.
It was still
No,
cute.
I saw that at the trunk or treat
for the school
at the school,
and everything.
We did
worked out
vote.
great.
Hopefully, everyone's voting.
Thank you.
We did vote.
I saw one of them. It was the Winnie the Pooh.
86 likes yesterday, or when I looked at it.
Well, I also looked deeper into it because I like to stalk everybody's life, and it looks like, so the girl who did that trunk, her dad shared it to all of like the big Facebook groups, like PSL, whatever, PSL recommendations.
He went ham. Hopefully you did the same thing.
I thought about it, but I'm like, do I really want to exploit my kid like that?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. I shared it to everywhere. Please like.
You did shit. I know you did, because your girl goes hard. Your girl doesn't like mediocre. Your girl either wins or she doesn't want to do it.
Well, and she was totally okay with just kind of doing a little bit because we were going to show up and participate. And then she found out that there was a prize for first place, and she was like, "Oh, it's on like Donkey Kong."
On.
And we went. I had to take the bathroom door off the hinges so that we could have
Bring the
Boo's
whole door. Brought the whole door. They're literally, I saw the picture. I'm like, where the hell did they get a door from?
Everybody
you
was
brought
like,
your door from your damn house?
I brought it. I threw it in the back of the truck, took it off the hinges.
If you haven't seen the picture, post the picture.
I'll put the picture up.
There is a literally a door, and a home house door from your bathroom inside a. Okay, I didn't know that was your door.
Our dedication is unparalleled.
Yo, your dedication in.
How about you? With I saw the pictures of Mila dressed up in that costume.
Pascal. Yes, we did Tangled.
She was in
and
it
then
too.
the night before we had to watch Tangled. So Wednesday night, whatever. Yeah, Wednesday night we started eating. We get home. I had just gotten home from Georgia. I went hunting this weekend, and when I got home, they were like, "We're watching Tangled." So I ordered some Thai food, and we watched Tangled. Now I've seen Eden was obsessed with Tangled as a kid.
Right.
I watched Tangled once, maybe sometimes twice a day. She loved Tangled. She recited the entire movie, which is hilarious, and she still knows it. And so she's like, I need inspiration. I'm like, this is so extra.
She running around the house singing
I got a writer's shirt, and I just had his t-shirt on because, I get a minimum effort from me as always. I just show up to this stuff, guys. So, but Leticia she was the evil mom.
Yep.
Evil mom made sense, right? With the black hairs, that made sense. And then Mila was the chameleon, and she was in character all night.
Yep, made me proud.
From pictures to like trick or treating to doing her thing. If she was next to Eden, she was just right there. And then we ended up going to Lake Clark Shores, and what a shit show that was.
Just a ton of people, right?
Bro, there was all right. So we went last year, and Lake Clark Shores. I love Lake Clark Shores.
Yeah,
our OG friends and family live there. Leticia's cousins, everybody lives in that area. That's why we always wanted to buy in Port St. Lucie, not Port St. Lucie, not the hell out here. We always wanted to buy in Lake Clark Shores, and so we try to go there during holidays, and we go there during special events and things like that. So for this occasion, it's something we've always done. It's like going to go see Christmas lights in Lake Clark Shores. And you're from this area, you always drive down Gabriel Street. And there was a house available on Gabriel Street, and it went on sale, I think, just after we closed. Yep. I was so depressed because I would have been like, I would have loved me some
Would you
Gabriel
really
Street.
have wanted to live on that street?
Hell yeah, I would live on there. I would be Griswold all day. My house would be like, what?
You can't drive anywhere. The traffic at all hours from 6 p.m. to midnight.
Literally just for the holidays. It's twice a year. It's twice a year. It's a shit show.
Disaster.
It's twice a year. I love me some holidays. I would definitely do it. The downfall of the house was smaller. It was a 3-bedroom. It was a smaller house. So, but coming full 10 full, we hung out at Lear's house, Johnny's house, drove the golf carts around. Yep. My goddaughters are there because we always have this east side versus west side. So half of our team lives in La Mancha with us.
Right.
We got Hugo, we got Javi, and everybody lives in La Mancha with me. Then you have the rest of the half of the crew is over here in Lake Clark. So what always makes my decision to go is my goddaughters.
Of course.
And Razor, we put them on a trailer, we attach it to the golf cart, and everyone just jumps on and have a good time. And I want to experience that with them. So I always love to watch them. And this year, we didn't have to hold her hand to the doors. So she was up and running to the door. She was getting it. We actually had to watch her. We're like, oh, she's running. And so it was cool to see that. And then the kids, like Alir's son and all the older kids, Johnny's son, they're like older now. So they have their own team. They got there like, yo, we're going to go hang out later. And I'm like, God, these kids are growing up. It's so sad.
It's tough.
And they walk down the street by themselves. They didn't want to hang out with the little. We call them the littles, the bigs and the littles. Yeah. So they didn't want to hang out with the girls. They didn't want to hang out with the littles. And the kids ended up doing doing their thing. We walked around, started raining a little bit, but the amount of people in Lake Clark Shores is insane. There was cars lined up through Meadow Park all the way down, side streets, canal streets. There was just people everywhere. So to get down Gabriel was actually insane. We bypassed it. We just hit all the cul-de-sacs.
Even on the golf cart and walking.
It was the golf cart between foot traffic and car traffic. The golf cart didn't get us by any quicker. Yeah. So we just made a quick U-turn and went. And then La Mancha is huge for Halloween. They had they had people everywhere. They had police, blocking certain areas for safety. They do a great job out in Royal Palm. Every time I want to be a part of the Royal Palm thing. And we're just like, and then Rachel calls me, what time are you going to be at my house? And I'm like, I'm not. He goes, don't play me, bro. I'll see you at 5. And I'm like, damn it.
Did you finish up at Lake Clark and then go and go around La Mancha at all?
We didn't go around La Mancha. There was so much candy and the kids were done. Yeah. My kids they want to go to bed at 9:00. We got home at 8:30. They're like, it's past my bedtime. I got to hurry up and shower. And they were so scheduled, which I love.
I was just going to say that's better than the alternative.
I love they're on a schedule at 9:00. It's lights out and it's mom and daddy time. We started watching our shows.
Yeah.
Chicago PD wasn't on this week apparently because it wasn't on. I was upset about that. You actually wore the wrong hat too on this podcast today.
I had to wear. Listen, just because
Yankees
they lost,
choked.
We'll get to that in a minute.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to the Yankees, but dang, bro.
With the Halloween candy, 2 questions. Number 1, do you check all of their candy to make sure there's nothing in it?
No.
Do you tax their candy bag and take some for yourself?
No, I don't eat sweets. I rarely eat candy, and the whole
benefit of having kids to go trick or treat is so they can bring home the bag of candy, and you have to tax it.
Only candy I eat is gummy bears.
Okay.
But they have to be the original OG brand. But then they don't make the small packs are no longer the minis.
I thought they were the small little tiny gummy bears that you can barely taste.
No, they don't. And those were the Halloween.
Yeah.
No, They put 2 of the bigger ones inside the bag now, which is like pointless.
No, nobody wants 2.
You messed up.
2 gummy bears.
It's 2, maybe 2 to 3 gummy bears max on the big bags now, on the small bags. It makes no sense. So I bypass them now. So at this point, I just get my big bag and
just buy what you want.
Just buy what I want.
This year, we asked the kids because they weren't going to go trick or treating. Do you want us to buy you some candy? And Denny was like, "Yeah, 100 grands." I was like, okay, cool. So we got him the big bag, and it had the Snickers. They
didn't go at all, though?
No, he didn't go anywhere.
He didn't want to go knock on doors?
No, we actually set up the projector in the driveway and watched Halloween on the garage door on the projector. So we did that. We had maybe 3 people show up, but he wanted 100 grand bars, so we got him that mixed bag. Sophia wanted crumble cookies. So I ordered crumble cookies and picked that up.
Man, you had an easy Halloween.
Yeah, right. $26 for 6 cookies.
Yo, I made Eden pay for her own crumble cookie last time. She's like, I want crumble cookie. I go, you got money? You have all you want.
They're good cookies. Don't get me wrong, but damn.
The calorie counts on those things, Mr. I count stuff.
I didn't eat any. They're still in there. I'll go grab
whatever.
them.
Talk me to death.
But that was what they wanted. I got a bag so that we could hand them out here if we had anybody. We had 5 people. 5 trick-or-treaters.
We put the big, I don't know how many people do this, but we put the big tub out, fill it with candy, and then we put a sign, take 2, take 1, whatever. Some kids, were there, but some kids, they put a handful. Some kids pick 2, because you can see it on camera. I put the camera there, it's on the ring.
Before cameras were a thing, and you trick-or-treated.
I dumped that whole thing.
The whole bowl, right?
I would dump the bowl between whoever I was with. Here's some for me, some for you. Pop.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think because I put it right in front of the door camera, they were just like, let me take 2. Last year, when older kids, I call them the assholes, the teenagers.
We'll leave that in.
The teenagers come in when they're, the older kids who just don't have any respect these days.
Right.
They come in, they take them all. But we had a lot more little kids in our neighborhood. So little kids, you can see the one little kid took like 1. Like, I got 1. And he ran away. So it was funny. A kid went missing in our neighborhood.
I heard about that.
Kid went missing, helicopters and stuff like that. And she was in the haunted house, which is right next to Hugo's house.
Oh, yeah.
And they were in the haunted house, and she got separated somehow. And the great part about it is the kid knew where she was parked. And she went straight to the car and sat there at the car, and they found her at the car, which is great.
Amazing.
So if you're going to be out and about, I think that's a great idea, is have a meeting place.
Absolutely.
So either somebody told her, if you get separated, come back to this car, because she had that in her mind. She just said, I'm lost.
Yeah.
Go back to my car. But police, helicopter, cops, it basically shut down the block, and everybody apparently went looking for her. You saw the updates in the La Mancha page that we have on our Facebook, and they were saying she's been found or she was missing. Pictures of her went out. What she was wearing went out. So as a community, kid was found in like 15 minutes.
That's just speaks volumes about the community that you live in, because when something like that happens, everybody bands together, good or bad. And
they stopped. It was Halloween stopped.
the way it should be.
Halloween stopped. They found that kid quick, and I'm very blessed, but just as equally as quick, you know, you can lose a kid. I mean, literally, that kid could have been taken by any adult, by any creep out there, and she's gone. You know what I mean? I get that. That's paranoid because you see so many shows, so many stories of just kids missing.
Right.
And, you know, and I love watching those cop shows, and I love watching SVU and all those things. You know, I mean, I'm a Law and Order guy, but you see so much crazy stuff happen, and those stories are 95% real. There's got to be inspiration from somebody they saw. So when I see some of the missing shit, and you're like, seriously, this is like that's a possibility.
I had to stop watching Criminal Minds because I felt like just when I would watch a couple of the episodes, I just felt sad. Like I was completely depressed, and like it was just nothing good happened on those shows. So I'm like, I gotta stop watching these.
Dude, some of the stuff is dark.
It's really dark.
Some of the stuff is
especially
dark.
SVU.
There was something that came out that said that if you go to sleep watching the Law and Orders, like you got issues.
You don't watch TV before you fall asleep, though, right?
I do not. You fall, bro. I don't want
to
to talk about it. It feels like daylight. You trying to go to sleep, and every time you stay, I'm like, put me in the other hotel room. I purposely book my own room,
and I don't know if it's the light that I need or if it's the sound, but I have to have.
You ever heard of a clock? Like, you should try that one day. You should put the radio on, or just put your iPad on with the Law and Order playing or whatever show playing, and with no screen. Make sure it's off, just the audio, and see if it's an audio stimulus for you or is it a visual thing. Is it the bright light, bro? Because some of this shit is bright, bro.
It is. I know, and I think really what it is I've tried to lay down and go to sleep without the TV on. And my mind races. My mind doesn't shut off. So I lay down and I'm staring at the ceiling, and all I can do is think about, okay, well, tomorrow I have to do this. Today I should have done this. Oh crap! Did I put the laundry in the dryer? I can't turn off.
Yeah, I feel you.
And it's almost like I watch the TV just to kind of get some mental.
I fall asleep with
freedom.
my phone like this all the time. Like literally, the phone's just baking. It's like I might have an indent of just a phone here. Bake. I felt like getting a scan just to see, because the amount of time that I'm here and the phone's like and just sits on my chest. I fall asleep playing games. Leticia makes fun of me all the time, but I have to let her fall asleep because I snore.
Right, me too.
I snore. I definitely snore. So I make sure the whole house is dead asleep. She's having like shaking. She's in convulsions over here. That's how I know she's sleeping, for me to start actually trying to go to sleep, which usually is about midnight. I know by midnight, the entire house is on lockdown. Everyone's sleeping. Then I'll kind of like trickle into a sleep.
You know what I tried? Because I snore also. I ordered the mouthpiece.
Didn't work.
Didn't work for you?
No, the blue box.
Yeah.
It's like a blue box. Yeah, I did
mold
that.
it to your mouth like a
Yeah. No.
It worked. I need to order another one. Apparently, you're supposed to change them out every 3 months.
Were you supposed to dip it in boiling and?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't do that.
Oh, well, yeah, you got to fit it to your mouth.
I just put that whole fucking thing in my mouth.
And I'm sure that was uncomfortable as hell.
No,
you got to fit it to your mouth.
It was crushing me, so I threw that shit out. I don't read directions. So if you know me, you know I don't read directions. I build Legos by looking at a box. I don't.
Yeah, you have to stick it in the hot water and then put it in your mouth.
No, I didn't do that.
Yeah,
I just sleep something. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's also adjustable. It has positions that you can move it to, depending on your jaw.
Literally it was, maybe that's why it didn't work. I didn't try it. I did try the
CPAP, really?
Did I say that in the last podcast or a couple of podcasts ago?
No.
During the hurricane. So
Really?
Johnny had an extra one at his house that it came because it came wrong.
Y'all are weird friends.
He came.
I got an extra CPAP. You want to
try it? Yeah, bro. What are friends for? What are you talking about? That guy's one of my best friends too. I was like, yo, Johnny. So Johnny's like, yo, you want to try this? I'm like, sure. Fuck it. So put it on. And this thing is like, so it didn't hold because of my beard.
Yeah.
So I had leaks everywhere, and I wasn't trying to put, so like when I go snorkeling, we usually put like Vaseline or something so it seals. So I wasn't trying to sleep with Vaseline in my beard, right? So then I was like, we're gonna make this work. So I just put this bitch tighter. I was like, ah. So I'm on the couch. We went there during the hurricane. We always do a hurricane party at his house. So we're over there at his house, and I put this thing in on. I'm like, Goose, talk to me, Goose. So I'm on this thing, and this thing is the machine's not loud, but in your face it's uncomfortable because you're like, you're in this machine, and I have this thing strapped so it can seal. I did fall asleep,
Okay.
but within an hour, my nose was about to break. It was so much pressure on my nose that, yeah, I didn't snore, but no, it was like, because I had put it so tight because of my beard. I think it was just operator error. And I guess they make one that goes in your nose, like just like a nose.
I've seen that one too, yeah.
I don't know. So they have something. So I'm willing to give it a shot. I do stay up, and then I wake up and I'm like, yo, sleep apnea is real.
I don't think I have that because I've never woken up abruptly, but I know I snore, and Meg, she hits me in the middle of the night to get me to stop. So it's definitely that. I've tried positioning. I've tried different pillows. I actually heard if you tape your mouth. I know. This
sounds like a scary movie right now.
It does. It's with some weird stuff, but there's mouth tape that's called like kidnapper's tape. But apparently it keeps your mouth closed so that it can't open and start snoring. I don't know.
A little suspect.
I don't know.
Why do you looking up kidnapper's tape?
We're into some weird shit.
Some random shit. Everybody, if Meg goes missing, I'm kidding.
Yeah, right.
Kidnapper's tape.
Look for the roll of tape.
Look for the roll of tape. So they had the nose strips. No strips don't work for me. Breathe right. That does not work for me. Some of the stuff has to work eventually. If you like, I know a lot of Johnny swears by the machine. Swears by this thing. He's changed his life, but he is completely shaved. Yeah. He swears by this thing. But man, it looked cool. And then like around the middle of the night, it was windy. It was because he's on the water. So I had to like unclip this machine, you unclip it, and then the hose is like. So I unplugged it, and the machine's like, and then I grabbed the hose and like stuffed it in the couch, and this thing's like. I'm like, feel like I'm waking everybody up at this point because this hose, because when you have it in your face, you don't hear it. It is silent. But the hose was loud as shit. But then I had to go to the bathroom, and then I went and looked outside. So I went and looked at the boat real quick, but I had this machine on. So think about, I had the face mask on. I didn't take the face mask off because I didn't want to redo the whole fucking thing. Yeah. So I had the face mask on. I didn't want to redo it. And while I'm outside checking the boat, I had this thing on. It was hilarious, bro. If somebody had a video of this, and I didn't say that to Johnny because I know he has cameras outside. So I was like, do not record.
Oh, he's looking it up.
Bro, I'm walking there. I'm walking around and this thing walking. It was hilarious. So we go back inside and I clipped it back on, but then I just couldn't go to sleep at this point because it was just that my nose was on fire.
I think I'm hesitant to try it because I know they're uncomfortable. And also, like, I mean, not to get too personal, but
it's not sexy.
It's not sexy. Like, I don't even like the mouthpiece because, like, God forbid I don't get a kiss goodnight, but I'm like, it just feels like it just takes all of the romance out of the relationship.
Like, you're in there and you're like, hey, honey, you're like, hey.
Right. So I'm...
I don't know, but my wife doesn't sleep sometimes. She's like, I couldn't sleep because you were so damn loud. She hits me, and then sometimes she hits me, and I'm like, what did you hit me for?
Same.
And then she's like, you were snoring. I'm like, I wasn't even sleeping yet. My phone's still in my hand. No, I passed out. In my mind, I didn't fall asleep, but I was already snoring because I fall asleep instantly. As soon as I put my head down, I'm out. So I have to like stay up. But man, I don't want to do it. It is not cute. It is. That machine is no joke.
Right. See,
but apparently it saves lives because, bro, let me tell you, I wake up like sometimes gasping for air. I've literally woken myself up. She's like, you stop breathing for almost a minute. So there is an app on your phone that you can record and yourself. And I recorded myself. It was just to basically show your doctor, like, hey, this is my snoring patterns. Okay. It tells you how long you were snoring through the night and how many times you basically gasp for air. It keeps track of all your stuff.
No kidding.
And I snored for 67% of my night. Oh. And I woke up, I think 4 times, like, now you could hear, like, right on the recording, like, really? I went from snoring to, like, I'm up. Wow. And then I went back to sleep. But yeah, there's it's a thing. And but the more I want to say you lose weight, because I used to be really, really bad.
True.
I'm down almost 30 pounds. True. So the more I exercise, the more cardio I'm building, the more the less I snore or the quieter I snore. So I'm getting less complaints right now.
Okay.
So I'm letting this ride.
All right.
So I'm just hoping that eventually it just stops.
That's
just keep working out.
great.
Just keep
Let me know
working
how
out.
it
I gotta
works.
stop eating like but we're getting there. That's a whole other story.
we've talked about it. We've covered it.
I went to 3 natives for on the way here.
That's really good.
It's a start.
Good stuff.
Every once in a while. But tonight, we'll probably follow this up by hibachi, some Outback.
Damn,
or
that does sound good. Doesn't it?
what? I know it's Friday night.
This weekend we've got busy 2 weeks, so you guys are going to hear a lot of shit from us for the next 2 weeks because November is a disaster.
November's a disaster. December's a disaster. Ordering
wedding.
equipment has been a disaster. We don't why do we have shortages still? I don't understand. Someone tells me we order stages. I don't think every company in the world is ordering staging. So we
Not
ordered
all of a sudden out of the blue.
all of a sudden out of the blue. So we ordered a stage and another 8x12 because we needed more stage pieces for the events coming up. And they're out of stock everywhere until next January on stages. I'm like, seriously? So we're having literally trying to find stuff. Last week was Dare. We did Dare for Halloween party.
Great turnout.
Great turnout.
You were nervous. Now let's be honest. You didn't know,
Bro.
what was going to happen because they changed some things in the background, and all of a sudden,
So I've played the daytime pool parties.
yeah,
Daytime pool parties are busy. Everyone's in the pool having a great time. The cabanas are easy to sell.
Yep.
It was a great time. Nighttime pool party. I've been to Fisher, John. We played the big names out there, and I've been to them. Even a concert, 50 Cent performed it outside.
Right.
We have people guest. I think Rick Ross, if I'm not mistaken. We've had performances outside that I've seen. I remember. Now, I've never promoted a night with Candyman, and his team did an amazing job. His group with Cito Ra, everybody just came together and promoted the crap out of this thing. We filled the pool.
looked great.
The whole pool, not like the front. The entire pool was filled, and it was amazing. The opening DJ, younger kid, surprised me, played some tracks.
Okay.
And then I had said, like, damn, this kid's ripping it. He played, which is my song, House of the Week, which is Shake and Pop, John Summit and Green Velvet. He played it in his mix as an opener, which, again, I don't care. You can play whatever you want. But it was
a little bit heavy
it's
for
a
an opener,
little heavy
though.
for an opening set, but he played it and the crowd was reactive. But that crowd outside, as much as I want to play tech house and play a dirty, nasty house set all night, inside they're playing that.
Right.
They were playing it inside with Sid, and it was. I didn't want to compete with the same music. So if you went outside or you went inside, you heard the same crap. So I was like, you know what? We're just going to play open format.
Yep.
So we did a full open format, hip hop, house. We even played reggaeton. Julian has it on video. And Julian, I'll just admit it. I played Gasolina. Yes, I played Gasolina at the pool. I played Gasolina at the pool. Julian recorded it to make fun of me, and that's fine. But I also got $100 tip to play it.
There you go.
In your face.
There you go.
So I played Gasolina. We played a couple reggaeton songs. The crowd went crazy. A lot of Latin outside. So we did play some vibes. We played some island vibes. A little bit of reggae. We played everything.
Good.
And then the DJ behind me at 1:45 had his laptop sitting behind me, ready to go. Which it's a pet peeve of mine. I'm like, seriously, dude, just sit to the side. We're almost done.
He's
just
ready.
hang out.
He's on time. Would you rather him be late? Because we even said you weren't playing a minute past 2.
Nah, I mean, listen, I would have played till 3. The crowd that was there,
Okay.
I could have played to 3 or 4. The pool was slammed. I keep hitting myself with this damn mic. The place, like knocking myself. That's what happens. You talk in your hands and a fucking mic in the middle.
I'm holding on.
I'm like, hold on, don't move your hands. So I'm sitting, I keep knocking myself. So the crowd was reactive.
Yeah.
So, and I have great videos, great stuff. I'm waiting for their full video to come out. The other problem with their videos is they're half naked women that were there are all over the videos. They're in costume, and I can't really continue to post stuff like that. They're in costume, I know, but it's not like, it's a whole different subject. So I'm like, can you keep it PG-13? Just put me and Alex in the crowd. So I'm sitting there, and it's so busy that I'm like, dang, I don't really want to get off. And he was like, bro, let me on. And I was like, just come on, just go.
Yep.
So I hook him in. We set up 2 mixers so he can set up and take his time, hook up the CDJs, link everything so I don't have to worry. I'm on my mixer and my CDJ, so I'm not interfering with anybody. And he went right on, and then we stayed there the rest of the night, party the rest of the night away. The hospitality was great. Waitresses were great. You couldn't complain. The party went off the way it should have.
Good.
Costume contest was amazing. It was great. This weekend we have an amazing wedding in Miami, big wedding, 200 and change people in Miami, and it's what's it called?
Coconut Grove.
We're in Coconut Grove.
Coral Gables, Coral.
We're
Grove.
far. We're way out of my boundary. We're way out of my service area, but it's a repeat client. We've done 3 different events, 2 weddings for this client.
Yeah.
So we had no problem. They said, "Hey, I need you to travel." I'm in. So we are doing all lighting. We're doing photo booths. We're doing lighting. I don't know, 6 or 7 rotating heads, 6 or 8 rotating heads,
setups, everything.
Everything. We're crushing this setup. We have a 32-foot LED wall coming out the following week.
Yeah.
We have 2 16x8 massive LED walls with side screen support. Doing a Hearts for Moms, a big event for them. That turned in from 200 people to 400 people.
We've been talking about this for the last week to figure out what the next step is, because they keep adding stuff, adding people, and not adding budget. So we're really
this is the tough part, and I gotta stress this enough to people who listen to the podcast, or if you're in this business, you have to understand that if you have a party, you're throwing a birthday party for your kids,
any party, yeah.
and any party, forget about the expense in it, but if you're charging people to come to these events, so they're making money too.
Yep.
Okay. So at the end of the day, you have an expense for 100 people. Now 200 people show up. Now you need tables. Now you need linens. Now you need centerpieces. Now you need everything. All your expenses go up.
Yep.
Rent more chairs.
All of it.
So now sound support comes in. I can't bring a standard speaker, and we use line arrays for everything. We use the vertical line arrays, but now we got to bring our standard now concert level, like an HDL 20, our horizontal or normal line array system that has to be flown on trussing, or we stack it on the big subs. And so now we're talking about a massive sound system for 400 people that's got to sound even.
Right.
Then I got to do sound support in the rear because we don't want to blast the front. So now I got to do wireless sound. I got to send, and PJ National, that's a big building. It's a big room, huge room. So now I got to send sound across that other room, again, wirelessly. So we're not running 400 feet of wires. So setup becomes a lot different.
Yep.
So the original bids go up, guys, and it is what it is. You add more people, you add more things, you got to budget. Your costs got to go up.
They wouldn't complain to the catering department for having to double the food cost.
Hey, I need you to double the food cost.
So, right? I mean, I don't understand why it's been such a challenge. You're handling all the conversations.
I am.
It's show up.
It's been a challenge. It's because they think that we're just bringing the same amount of stuff, because we were supposed to just show up, you and I, and bring us a pair of speakers, because that's how it was sold to me.
That's right.
And now it's a presentation. Now we need microphones for the stage. Now you need this. Well, now we need a digital mixer.
Right.
I need to be able to be in the crowd, and I need to adjust levels. Now I need line arrays. So as we continue to grow the event, I want to grow with that business. But at the end of the day, it's all has a cost involved in it.
Absolutely.
And so the hardest part is explaining to a company that's a charity, we don't want to charge you more.
No.
But I have to bring more people. That speaker sound system I have costs over $30,000.
Absolutely.
That speaker system wasn't free. So I can't bring it for free. So when I gotta lug that thing around, it costs money.
Yeah.
The same thing goes for, more lighting or an LED wall. Yes, an LED wall that's $100,000 where, it has a cost to bring that out.
Right.
Exactly. So, and people just never understand that. Like, all this stuff wasn't free. I didn't go to Guitar Center and say, hey, I'm going to rent this out for free. Can I get a better deal?
I work with charities.
I work for charities. Can I get a better deal? Yeah. Can I use your tax? Can I use the charity's tax? What's that called? That's the tax receipt, tax exempt certificate. That's what I should be doing. But it was so far. So this weekend's gonna be big, and then our next podcast we'll talk about the other 50 gigs we have coming up.
Seriously,
Polo's coming up. Yeah. We're back at Clematis Social. Alex and I on the 23rd
around Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, Thanksgiving weekend. The week before Thanksgiving.
Weekend after the Friday, Saturday, right? Friday, Saturday, or are you
Saturday?
Doing Thanksgiving
I know
Eve?
We're doing it together. So we were going to do Thanksgiving Eve, which is the Wednesday.
Yeah.
But we chose the Saturday before.
Oh, before
the Saturday before. I think it's the 23rd.
Everybody's family gets in town the Saturday before, the weekend before. Anyways, nobody's showing up a couple days before they.
So we're hoping to have a great event. It's Alex and I at Clematis Social. So that's the first time that we played together in West Palm since Off the Hookah, I think.
Is that right?
I mean, do you count Sunfest?
I usually count Sunfest. I didn't this year.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't want to talk about this year. Sunfest.
We don't talk about Bruno.
We don't talk about Sunfest this year anymore. So, but Sunfest was, Alex and I always play Sunfest together, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's since literally the inception of us playing
I'm trying
it
to think. You never did 4 together. You never did
4 I did by myself.
Monarchy together.
Banco I did by myself. We tried to do a set at, what's that yacht place? Camelot. And this was when it first opened, and I walked in, and the girl comes up to me and goes, "Here's your 2 drink tickets." I laughed at her. I go, you mean one of these or each of these are a bottle, right? And she's like, "No, you get 2 drink tickets." I closed my laptop.
See you later.
I chucked the deuces. I was like, "Alex, you have 4 drink tickets now." Like, seriously, people, it's never about. For me, it's never about the money.
It's not.
I'd rather DJ for free. I don't need to get paid. I'd rather DJ for free and give me the best hospitality for all my friends.
Have a great time.
Just give me a couple bottles, hookahs, whatever you want. Give me whatever I need to make myself comfortable with my friends.
Yeah.
And be done. I will play. And that's the way we used to do it after Sunfest.
Absolutely.
Because we didn't need the money. We made money at Sunfest. I didn't need the money. We were exhausted. I didn't want to play, but bro, I didn't want to DJ for 10 hours outside and then come in and you give me shit when I came in there. You know what I mean? So I was like, seriously?
It's the fact of the matter. We just want to be like part of the team. And we show up, you throw us a couple drink tickets, and it's just like a consolation prize.
Yeah,
like,
this is before new management.
Thanks, Jay Pitts.
Thanks, Jay Pitts. Jay Pitts wouldn't have done that to me.
No.
Yeah, this is it was interesting. But yeah, everywhere else we go, we have zero to problems. They accommodate us, and by any means, we're nobodies these days. I walk downtown, and if we get carded everywhere now, right? We're like, who the hell are you? And they card Leticia, and they don't card me. I mean, it's just the grades, I guess, right? So I walk in, but I actually get charged. They were like, you got to pay cover, and I'm like, yeah, right. Lewis, I'm downstairs.
Exactly. I have to pay cover. I'm not coming in.
Hell, yeah. I mean, I think there's got to be a point where you want to charge 25 and under. Like, you want to charge the kids who are probably not spending money.
No.
But everywhere I go, my bar tab's a couple $100 because we come as a group, we spend money, whether we do dinner, whatever. Why am I paying a $10 cover charge? Like, why? Just let us, we're old. We're going to spend money, guys. Just let us in.
Exactly.
It makes me sometimes, it crushes me sometimes about that. I never understand cover charge.
Nope.
Cover charge the little kids that they're not going to spend money.
Right.
That's the way I feel about cover charge. I'm with the DJ. What you got?
You had a little bit of a scare in the real estate industry this week. There was some stuff that happened, and you thought your license might be on the hook.
Guys, please stop trying to reinvent the wheel when it comes to
cheat the system.
Trying to cheat the system. I did have a scare because I've been doing this since 2008. I've never had a bank call our company and say, hey, you guys, and qualified this borrower, because I'm not going to say we did something fraudulent because it wasn't fraud. Right. It was you guys qualified this client wrong. So the story that I got is the client purchased a home and called it a primary residence. Okay, so to go back to what occupancy is.
There we go.
Here we go.
Start from the start.
Start from the start. Let me go back here. So occupancy, if you're buying something, you're going to live in it. You are going to physically call this your home. It's called a primary residence.
Yep.
That goes on your driver's license. You establish utility bills.
That's right.
That is your primary residence. Now, you have an investment property. This is a property that you purchased that you don't plan on living in it.
Right.
You are not to live in it, actually. That is kind of the guideline. You're buying it as an investment. And to qualify for this is a completely different parameters in qualifying for a primary residence.
Right.
And we can go into that too if you guys really want. Second home is a home that you vacation at. So I have a second home in the Keys.
Right.
I have a second home in Orlando, right? That's something because you live in West Palm. So you can say, I have a second property in a vacation area. Not that I personally have one. I'm just saying in general. I'm giving you an example.
You can have 15 homes.
I could have 15 homes. I don't know. I just don't want. I'm just saying in general right now.
Worried about that tax bill.
Worried about that tax bill. Nothing. So if you live in Palm Beach County and you want to buy a house in the Keys, that is an investment property. Or a second home. Sorry.
Right.
You can, if you're not going to rent it out. If you're buying a house and you want to buy a house in Orlando, like I said, you can live next to, Disney himself over there or Mickey Mouse over there, and you can have a second home. Right. You can also use that as an investment property. But again, to qualify for those are two different things. So the programs are either DSCR, which I'm using the rent to qualify for that home.
What does DSCR stand for? You didn't know either? I don't know either.
Sir, I don't know. Go back.
We'll skip that. DSCR.
You have DSCR programs, which I'm using the rent schedule of that property to qualify.
Okay.
Your primary residence, you're using your personal income to qualify.
Got it.
A second home, you're using your primary residence debt plus the second home debt using your personal income to qualify. I'm not using outside sources. We're not using rent. Once you use rent or some kind of outside source, whether it be Airbnb or long-term rent to qualify for a home, that's an investment property.
Right.
So second home, you have to qualify physically for with your money that you make. Okay. So to get that out of the way, those are your three different options, right? You either renting it, you're living it, or you're going to it vacationing. So this client bought it, and this is a client that we've already, we've done business with before.
Yep.
His primary residence that he was currently living at was free and clear. He rents that out to whoever, got a contract, got a deposit, all legit. This is all
cool.
Deposited. Yeah. Good. We have to follow guidelines. The guy goes to Cape Coral, buys a house in Cape Coral, lives in it, leaves and remodels the home.
Yeah.
House sits vacant for 30 days, whatever. He goes and travels to another country. He had a death in the family. Travels to another country, was gone for X amount of time. In that time, banks are allowed to send a third-party person to knock on the door. And guys, this really happens because, again, this just happened to my file. Yeah. They knock on your door and they go, "Hi, who are you? What are you living here?" And, of course, he probably had one of his buddies or maybe the housekeeper. Someone was there, and they're like, "I don't know what the hell you're talking about." No, whatever, And the guy now, the bank called and said, "Your client does not live in this property. The house that he exited from, he lives there, whatever." They try to say that we, mahooked something, and that never happened. So you guys got to understand two things. If you're going to live in a property and call it your primary, you need to live there.
Yeah. Yep.
If you don't live there and you really live somewhere else and you just wanted to take the benefits. Now, let's go over benefits. If you have a primary residence, you can put the minimum of 3% down, first-time home buyers.
Right.
On conventional, FHA 3.5%, 5% down, 10% down, 15% down. Right, you have your choice of for
Absolutely.
Primary residence. Yeah. Investment property, 15 to 20%, depending on the lender. And then your second home, 15% is the minimum, I think, or up to 10 down sometimes. Yeah. Roughly, again, depending on your lender, there are programs. So where I'm getting at is you can't take the advantages of the benefits of a primary residence and the tax advantages of your homestead in Florida and call that a primary residence. That's called occupancy fraud. Yes, you can go to jail. Yes, you can get taxed heavily. Oh, yeah. There are plenty of people out there doing these crimes, foreclosed on your house. My bank will take your house away. Yep. They absolutely will come in there and, "Excuse me, you lied. We are not taking your home." That's they right. do not play around. So it's a very scary thing to get a letter to say, "Hey, your borrower's not living there." Now, I'm freaking out.
Sure. It's your license on the line.
My license is on the line. Guys, this is how I pay my bills. This is like my livelihood. You know what I mean? So I'm freaking out, man. I'm totally freaking out because I've never had somebody say, "Hey, you lied on an application and you knew." And I was like, whoa. So we had to get some letters signed, notarized. We had to come back and get all the original documentation that qualified the individual and send that all back to the lender and cover our behinds, which we did. And the issue is resolved.
Good.
But I can't tell you, and I don't know if you've ever experienced as a realtor, and I think other realtors out here will understand the fact that people lie on applications all the time. And my biggest thing is if I look at your job, like, what do you do for a living? I live in Miami. What do you do in Miami? I'm a waiter. Okay. I want to buy a house in Orlando, and I'm going to commute back and forth from work from Miami to Orlando.
Sure, yeah.
I want to buy that as a primary residence.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
Guys, come on. It's got to make sense. You have to have common sense banking. You can't buy it. You can't be a waiter and wait. Again, we're in the biz. We make money. I know there's good money in the industry. We're not saying you don't make the money, but you can't tell me there's not another Outback from Miami to Orlando, right? There's not another restaurant you can work at.
It's a 3.5 hour, 4 hour drive.
No one's commuting 5 hours a day and working a 10-hour day, 15 hours a day, and sleeping for 3 hours to get back and go on the road and come back home. No one's doing that, bro.
I'd go work at Universal.
For real.
No way. Not driving. But you have to double check all of that because your license is everything.
Yeah, it's on the line at all times. You have to always double check stuff. Yeah, it's just got to make sense. I've turned down loans where I'm looking at it, I'm like, there's no way.
And to save what? I mean, between a DSCR loan or an investment loan, and you got the 15% to 3.5% depending on the purchase price of the house. I mean, is it worth going to jail? Is it worth risking Derek to lose his license? Just either buy the house if you have the money or don't buy the house if you don't. But to go through all of this.
Do you ask your clients like, hey, where do you work at? Like, as a realtor, do you have those conversations? I mean, I do. I have to have the conversations because I'm qualifying them. But do you ever before? My
questions of financials is super surface level, right? You know, what kind of budget are you looking at? What did you get pre-approved for? How much are you looking to put down? Do you have a lender? No, I have a great lender. But my questions are very surface. I ask, you know, hey, are we moving closer to where you work? Are you relocating for work? I don't really get into much of the financial parts because outside of the purchase price and the down payment amount.
You ever had people ask like, or they're changing jobs? So like I'm leaving from New York, like Jersey, I'm moving down here.
Yep.
You know, what are the questions you ask for that as a, like, cause they have to qualify, but do you ask the pertinent questions? Can you work remotely? Like, do you have any of those?
I do. But again, I mean, from my side of the business, as long as they have the pre-approval with your logo on it, it doesn't really affect me one way or the other, where they're working, how they're working, or what they're relocating for. I kind of just leave it to you guys to qualify them on the numbers side of it.
I feel, and that's good. But you know a lot about this business because we have a lot of conversation and realtors out there as well. If you know, listening to the podcast, I think it's a pertinent question because I don't think all loan officers are created equal.
Oh, for sure. No.
And I don't think that, I think that it might set you up for success because there was a lot of times where, again, when I was new and I didn't understand transfers during COVID, when everyone's like, I'm dipping from New York and coming down here, I had so many of these files where you had to have a job letter. I had a commitment I had a couple of like job commitments from a hospital. Right. That's easy. You're a doctor there. You're going to start working here as a doctor. Here's your set salary. It has to say salary. You cannot go from New York to work from a company down here. You have a job letter, different job. Not talking about company to company.
Yeah.
It ain't from, Walmart to Walmart. We're talking about, a whole new job. You're coming from a new job, but you cannot work hourly and not wait. You need to actually wait and get paid. Because I don't know if you're going to work 10 hours a week. I don't know if you're going to get 20 hours a week guaranteed. You're going to work 50 hours. I don't know your hours. So unless you are a guaranteed salaried employee, it is extremely difficult to get an approval from a lender. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist because everyone's going to be like, oh, I have a guideline that does this and my guideline enables this.
Right.
Everyone's going to have a quirk in it, whatever, guys. Let's just be honest. It's hard for a bank to qualify someone that's not a set salary because I can't get guaranteed time.
Right.
If it's guaranteed, then you tell them it's a salary.
Sure.
It's a salary at that point. So if I can calculate their income based on a salary and a job letter, we get you approved, no problem.
And I do have conversations with most of my buyers that usually will give me some kind of information. Whether I'm not asking the specific questions, I do engage the conversation of, hey, so what line of work are you in? What are you coming down for? Where are you going? How long have you been there? In those, if I catch a red flag on it and,
working remotely.
Yeah.
You can do that and still make your hourly.
There you go.
Whatever you do. Your job letter from your job has to say you're working remotely and your income will not be affected by moving. So there's things in the letter it has to say.
I feel like remote work is starting to kind of taper off a little bit. Less and less people.
What company was it that said everyone must
back.
return to work? Was it Amazon?
Amazon.
Was it
Amazon?
Amazon?
Google.
Take your asses back to work.
Everybody.
Go clock in.
Listen, I've been to the Google headquarters in California.
Is it cool?
Beautiful.
Get out of here.
It's insane. Yeah, it's insane.
Wasn't there was a movie on it? Internship.
Yeah.
The internship.
Yeah, the intern.
The intern, some whatever.
Right.
Intern, whatever.
Something like that.
Some with Vince Neil. Right?
Vince Vaughn? Vince Neil is a
Never mind.
star.
All right, redo.
We're leaving that in.
We're leaving that in? No,
Yeah,
can I edit that out?
Vince Vaughn and
Vince
Owen
Vaughn.
Wilson. Same
Yes.
guys from Wedding Crashers.
Is it that? Is it that facility?
It is that facility. Yep.
Okay, because that's legit. So because
The campus is huge. Like it's
the thing.
they call it a campus, and it's I mean, it sprawls for like miles and miles. And we just popped up, parked our car, and started walking around when we were out there. And it's legit. Like they
Is
have a
it?
gigantic restaurant cafeteria type. I mean, it's pretty neat.
Do they have slides? Did you see the slides?
I didn't see any slides.
There were slides in the movie.
There were
I want to know
slides.
if people were sliding down.
That was, it was a fairly good movie.
It was a good. It was a solid movie.
It's a fairly good movie.
He had a show, Bad Monkey. If you guys haven't seen it on Apple.
I've started it. I haven't kept going.
So we
with
were
it.
in the Keys the week they were filming in the Keys, and we
told me
saw
that.
them filming it.
That's right.
And it was really cool. I love him in all his movies.
Same.
Wedding Crashers. I love all these movies from him. And we were there, and we were watching it all go down. And he's just on a bike, just traveling down Duval. No big deal, you know. And a lot of it was a good portion of it was filmed in the Keys. And then a lot of it in different areas of the Keys, like it was a private home and stuff like that. But the scenes that were actually downtown on Duval Street, we were there for. So it was cool to see all of that. We got to see him, and it was during, I want to say it was during the Sea Hunter boat tournament, or we were just down there. But we were there. Anyways, regardless, we were in the Keys, and it was an amazing experience. Yeah, that was a good show. If you haven't seen it, definitely catch it on
It's on Apple TV.
Apple TV.
I don't watch that enough. I feel like
It was
there's nothing
free
on there.
because I bought Mila. I bought Mila an iPad
So you
for
got
her
the-
birthday.
the free 12 months.
So
or
you had a
whatever.
free 3 or 4 months, and then it was funny because I love kids with, she walks in and she's like, I want the pin and I want ear pods, the noise canceling ones. Like, you bougie. I'm like, I'm not buying them. And she's like, I got money. Suck, it was my birthday. She walked into Target, went to the counter, paid for it, but she was just like, here, swipe my card like it was nothing for her. She bought
Like she was spending your money.
Yo, she was just spending money. She didn't care. The guy at the register was looking at me like I was crazy. And I was like, let it ride.
Yeah.
And she pulled out and paid for it all, got her stuff, got home, opened it. She has her own iPad now, so I don't have to hear the crying between her and Eden and complaining and yelling, it's my time, it's my turn. I was like, bro, just buy her laptop, buy her an iPad, just call it a day. And just sharing stuff just doesn't work out. When you have one kid in high school and one kid in lower grade, it's a disaster because they're into the different things, but the little one wants to be what the big one's into, and it just becomes a disaster, bro. So at this point, it is easily just throw money at it. Just here's your own iPad. Leave me alone.
Good.
This was quick. Well, I think the podcast had been going, either we go really long and we're like an hour and 30, or we're going 45 minutes. We're going 50 minutes. I think our good choice. We got dogs in here today. We got a couple of dogs. We got Striker's dogs in here.
I don't even like these dogs. We also got to figure out, Julian brought up a really cool idea, is we got to figure out how to call people. We got to figure out how to just randomly pick up the phone and just call somebody.
All right. So our game plan for next podcast is we're going to plug in a phone or an iPad, some kind of device. And that way we can do some questions and have a special guest without having to come all the way out to Port St. Lucie, or unless they're local in the office. So Julian had the idea. Julian, you might be the first person.
He might be the first call.
Julian, you might be the first call just because you're funny.
Putting
and
everybody on notice.
Put
Have
everyone
your
on
phones
notice.
Close on Wednesday.
If you get a FaceTime on a Wednesday, you're going to probably end up on the pod. And it's going to be a surprise. We're just going to call and be like, hey, what are you doing?
I like it. We got to come up with a cool name for that segment.
All right, we'll come up. Any ideas for the live segment? And who do you want to hear from Do you want to hear from Javier Living La Vida Loca?
No. Actually, he's coming up in an episode or two.
He's coming up in an episode or two.
We got to have him back on for 10.
And then we'll bring some special guests. If you have anybody, R1 Pacino's is 100% going to come on the show. Yep. And he had a bunch of questions regarding mortgages. So we're going to have him on as a special guest here coming up. And so definitely upcoming R1, maybe Julian. We want to get some in the biz people. So if you're in the biz, and you're interested in coming on the podcast and talking about your journey of being in the biz, whether it be like a bartender, how you got started, and how we got stuck in the biz and we're still in our 40s in the biz. The problem is, again, it's the money, man. This is so much money you make in the biz. It's hard to get out. So if anyone is interested in coming on the podcast and talking about their experience, if you have a new product, you have a business, you're self-employed, we also want to help you out. So if you have a business you want to be on the podcast, please help and let me know. We're happy to help you out. We'll throw you some advertising space, or just come on and go. We need some sponsors as well. So like, share.
Say it how you want.
No, I'm not going to do it anymore.
Say it how you want.
Subscribe.
We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys next week.